Having a baby should be one of the happiest moments of any woman's life, if it's a wanted pregnancy. Most go through their pregnancy, the good and the bad and the ugly of it, knowing the reward at the end of it all will be worth it when they get to hold the life they created in their arms. All the discomfort and pain of giving birth becomes a distant memory as love and joy take over. But for many women, that doesn't happen. Instead, the changes they experience after having a baby leave them feeling severely depressed. Today on Health Matters, we explore postnatal depression.
So postpartum, which is the same as postnatal depression, generally refers to depression in a woman or a man from the time of the birth of the baby up until 1 year. When we speak about postpartum depression, it's become a well-known term because we know that in South Africa in particular and in other low and middle income countries where women struggle with a whole lot of social and economic problems, we know that women in this period of pregnancy and the year after birth are in fact more vulnerable to experiencing depression and in fact anxiety as well. Women are at greater risk of having this common mental health disorder.
It is a condition triggered by or regarded as a complication of childbirth, although sometimes it can begin during pregnancy or in some cases within the first year of having a baby.
Women who are experiencing violence in the home, intimate partner violence or violence from other members of the people of the home, women who don't have social support. It's really these social economic conditions that are the big driving factors for making it so common among women in South Africa in this period of pregnancy and postpartum. There are some family history factors and biological factors, but in fact, I think those are far less important than the social and environmental factors that women are having to face at this time.
If caught early enough, postnatal depression can be successfully treated. But in order for this to happen, you have to know how to recognize the symptoms.
So the common symptoms of depression in the postpartum or even during pregnancy are the same as depression at any other time in a person's life, for men, for women. So it's tearfulness, feeling overwhelmed, low self-esteem, feeling hopeless, having low energy, difficulty with concentration. A lot of these common mental health problems have caused people to have changes in the way they think. So if a problem presents itself, they think in quite often in ways that are quite negative. I can't do this. There's no way I can do this. I'm no good. And some of these thoughts can be very distressing. Maybe it'd be better off if I wasn't here. If it's very severe, some people might have these suicidal thoughts. People who are experiencing depression withdraw from whatever social supports are out there. They don't feel strong enough to use the social supports. And that in itself reinforces a vicious cycle.
It's important to get help as quickly as possible if you or your partner experience any of these symptoms for a prolonged period of time. After a proper diagnosis, getting the correct treatment will enable you to cope better with this new chapter in your life.
The important thing is to try and treat properly. And the better you treat an episode right now, the less likely you are to have a recurrence, and the less likely you are to have a worsening of symptoms. You can make this episode much shorter if you treat it well as early as possible. And the treatments are social and psychological, and sometimes there can be treatments relating to medications.
Just like depression and other mental health issues, there is a lot of stigma attached to postnatal depression. Often, new parents are too ashamed to admit they're just not coping or feeling the intense emotions we've described, and they don't ever get treated for it. Experiencing postnatal depression doesn't mean that you are weak or incapable of being a parent, and it's more common than you think. Getting the correct treatment as quickly as possible could make all the difference to how you bond with and experience your new baby. It could also save your entire family a whole lot of heartache.